Hello everyone. I'm sure you all must be thinking about one thing, that is how to enhance the quality of my life, how to have a better life, how to have a happier life, isn't it? This is something which is common to all. We put our best efforts, we do hard work, we travel and go to places which we may not like, we do things which may not like, we study things which we don't like sometimes, only with the purpose of improving our life. Ultimately, we wanted to have a better life. Now, the question is, where does it start? If I want to have a quality improvement in my life, where should I begin? I'm sure you all must have heard this phrase called, your thoughts leads to reality. Whatever you achieve in your life is based on your thoughts. But most of the people whom I have interacted, they all consider this as just as a motivational quote or an inspirational quote. But I can tell you that this is more than just a motivational quote. This is a reality. Your thoughts leads to reality. Whatever you think, it happens in your life. Whatever you are right now in your life is based on the kind of thoughts you had in the past or the thoughts you are having right now. Then still, if you understand that your thoughts leads to the kind of quality of life, then why do you have that kind of garbage thoughts coming in your mind? Why do you engage yourself into bad thoughts? Why do you allow the bad thoughts to come into your brain? Why do you get into discussions with other people, about bad things? If you know that your thoughts leads to the actual reality, your thoughts leads to the quality of your life. It's mainly because you are not logically convinced about it. You know that you have heard about this, you must have read somewhere that your thoughts leads to the reality, your thoughts leads to the kind of quality of life you have in your life. But you haven't logically got convinced. And I always strongly believe that unless and until you are not logically convinced, you won't be emotionally driven in whatever you do. That is why here I am trying to explain the logic behind how the thoughts turn into reality. Over the past 10 decades, I have trained more than 1 million people and coached tens and thousands of people. From that experience I have gained, I have developed something called a thought cycle. And once you follow the thought cycle, you will understand how your thoughts actually manifest as your life. Thoughts, what happens to the thoughts? When you think about something, what is the next thing? Thoughts leads to words and actions. Whatever you say and whatever you do is based on the kind of thoughts you have produced. Even though sometimes you may tend to say that, I did something without thinking. I said this without thinking. It's wrong. You cannot say anything, you cannot do anything without proper thoughts. You had a thought before the words, you had a thought before the action. So thoughts leads to words and action. Any word, any action repeated becomes a habit. Anything, whether you like it or not, when you repeat a word or action, it becomes a habit. Habit over a period of time manifests as your behavior. You behave that way. If you behave in a particular way, it's basically because that has become your habit. You know what neuroscience says, that 94% of all what you do, you don't even know what you're doing because they have become habituated. 94% of all the things what you do in your life, they are all habitual. So the habits leads to your behavior. You behave in a particular way for a period of time, then it becomes your character. And your destiny is decided by your character. Whatever is your character, the life based on that character will manifest for you. That's why we always say that you don't get what you expect, you get what you are. So the character leads to your destiny. And destiny means the level at which you are right now. Destiny means the level of life you are achieved right now. Based on the level of life, you create the thoughts. Suppose you have achieved something, you are on a good level in your life. You have a great life, you are having a quality life. At that point of time, I guarantee that you will get quality thoughts. And these quality thoughts will lead to quality words and action. And the quality words and action will lead to quality behavior. Quality behavior will lead to what? Quality and good character. And good character will lead to what? Good destiny, good life. And that good life will lead to better thoughts. When your life is at a good level, you create better thoughts. And the better thoughts create better words and action, better habits, better behavior, better character, and the best life. The best life leads to what? The best thoughts. And the best thoughts leads to best words and action. So this is called a positive spiral. It goes up. The same way, mind you, it can go down also. A bad thought can lead to a bad word and action. A bad word or action can repeated becomes a habit, a bad habit. And a bad habit over a period of time becomes a bad behavior, bad character, and a bad life, destiny. And when your life is in a bad stage, I can guarantee that you will get bad thoughts or worse thoughts. And these worse thoughts will lead to worse words and action. Worse words and action repeated becomes worse behavior, worse habits becomes worse behavior, worse character, and the worst life you can imagine. And in that worst life, you will have the worst of the worst of the worst thoughts coming in, the worst of the thoughts. This is called a negative spiral. So the thoughts, this spiral, this cycle can take you up in your life or down in your life. So to create a quality life, what we can do? Change the thoughts, the way you think. So is it possible to change your thoughts just like that? The kind of thoughts you are creating right now is not based on what you are going through right now. The kind of thoughts you are creating right now is based on the kind of stored information in your brain. The kind of stuff which you have been storing for the past so many years in your brain. Based on that, you are actually creating thoughts on every occasion, every situation. So all of a sudden, if I tell you that control your thoughts, create positive thoughts, you should think positive all the time. It's difficult. You all know that, even though you know that you have to think positive, most of the time you are not able to, because the kind of thoughts which your brain produces is based on the kind of inputs which have been stored for the past so many years. So changing the thoughts or changing the thought patterns or controlling the thoughts, creating positive thoughts in just one fraction of a second is impossible. The only thing what we can do is be conscious about your thoughts. Whenever a thought comes in your brain, be conscious. What kind of thought the brain is producing or what kind of thought the brain is getting? Is it a good thought or is it a bad thought? By thinking about it, is it going to lead you to a good life or a bad life? Whenever a thought comes in your brain, just apply a pause button and ask a question, whether this thought is going to lead me to a better life or a worse life. And once you're conscious about the thoughts, then try to think about the thing which you want. Try to avoid that thought to really get engraved into your brain. Suppose you are getting into a business or you are planning to do something extraordinary in your life, and all of a sudden the thought which is coming in your brain is that no, you have tried so many things, it is not going to happen. You are not going to achieve it. Now you have to be conscious about your thought. Apply the pause button and ask the question, what is the kind of thought I'm getting? The thought I'm getting is that, I may not be able to achieve it. I've tried many other things, but never achieved it. So this also, I may not be able to achieve. Is that what I want? No. What I want to achieve it. So start thinking about it. Being conscious about the thoughts itself is the first step to change the quality of life, to improve the quality of life. During the last 1 decade, I have been working on a project called Thought Process Reengineering, which is a research subject where we are developing tools and methodologies and techniques to re-engineer the thoughts. The way you think, the paradigms, changing the paradigms. And in just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I may not be able to explain all the techniques, but in the coming videos, I would be giving some simple techniques which you can apply on a day-to-day basis, whereby you can re-engineer your thoughts and enhance the quality of life. See you next time. Bye.